a lot of people that obviously root for other teams, but they want to see the main game of the week, and they're really intrigued by Oregon. Really? Are they number 3? Let's see what they can do. It's been a long time since the Ohio State game. They've been kind of sloppy. Now they get a primetime game, meaning primetime Eastern time against Utah on ABC. So big matchup here. Could be a preview of the Pac-12 championship game. Most likely will be. Who else on defense should we be looking for?
For Oregon, I think the key thing is you need to look at number 1. Noah Sewell is the next guy. He's going to be the straw that stirs the drink wherever he plays, whatever team he plays on. And this Utah team, he has his brother on the other side that wears number 1. I mean, this family is just ridiculous. Every single one of the brothers played Division I football and great, good impact players. Obviously, we know about Penne going in with being one of the best tackles in the country as a sophomore. And so, yeah, Noah Sewell, middle linebacker, plays a variety of different places, very big, fast, one of the best football players I've ever seen, just a super impact player. The guy played quarterback and running back, and in high school, the guy can do anything. And he plays very light on his feet for how big he is. He can move around the field very quickly. He jumps well, knocks down passes, puts a lot of pressure on there. And then number 3, Brandon Dorlus, has had a great year from Florida. A guy who took over for Jordan Scott. Jordan was another Florida guy who kind of made his hay by just being a run stopper. And Jordan Scott really had a tough time ever moving past the run stopping into pressure on the quarterback and being a sack artist. And I do think that the way that offensive lines and who have done well against Kayvon, I think one of the better teams that actually did pretty well was Colorado. And the way that they schemed against KT opened the door for all these other guys to make plays. And so Braden Swinson, number 44, Brandon Dorlus, number 3, and obviously Noah Sewell is the linebacker. They're getting it done. So there's a bunch of other guys on the backside as well. Verone McKinley, the third, number 23, great player, 5 interceptions on the year as a safety. There's other great players on this team, but I think Kayvon Thibodeau is the star. He's the Mick Jagger of the whole thing, and I think a lot of people's eyes are on him.
Utah's brought in some talent from the Big 12 to stock their offense. Cameron Rising was an original Texas commit and signee who has found his way to Utah, threw for 300 yards last week against Arizona. TJ Pledger, former Oklahoma star, now their top running back, had a $119 against Arizona in a pretty lackluster performance by the Utes, as maybe they were looking ahead to this one against Oregon. But this is a serious matchup. This should be a good one. Anybody wants to just enjoy a good football game, this should be a good one.
And, out here, a lot of times what you have is you have kind of a mix match, right? You have a good on bad, a bad on good. You rarely have good on good. You rarely have that sort of battle like you do. You have to find this in the SEC too. You find this in all conferences. But there's teams that are stronger on defense, or stronger on offense, or stronger with the rushing game, or stronger with the passing game, or whatever the case may be. This seems to be Oregon looking in the mirror at Utah. This seems to be a team that wants to, I think they'll throw the ball a little bit more. Utah, they're more a little bit willing to take chances with deep ball, but they like to run that thing. Tavion Thomas, they like to pump that running game as much as they can. They've got the good front line. They're going to utilize it. They've got a great tight end, Kuechly. Oh my God. I think he's one of the best tight ends in the country. And they know how to play football up at Utah. And this is a school, if you compare Utah to other schools in the Pac-12, it feels like maybe they're at a disadvantage comparatively with recruiting, with location, with facilities, whatever the case may be. These guys have been competitive pretty much since the jump. And this is, again, a very, very strong coaching staff. This Whittingham coaching staff is very strong. And, they've had their ups and downs early in the year, but they've really started clicking lately. Now, last week they played Arizona. Not that impressed with their win last week. It looked like, again, maybe they were looking ahead. They were maybe seeing Oregon in the horizon. Obviously, college kids sometimes play down to the competition, not really looking at Arizona as being much of a threat. But first half, they were really struggling. And I do think that there were some things that I saw on tape that Oregon can take advantage of. So I like Oregon in this one, obviously, but I do think it's going to be a very close game. And you know what? I would not be surprised if Oregon loses either this game or that Pac-12 championship game, because it's going to be really hard to beat a team like Utah twice in 3 weeks.